Yes, my people, what's good? In this video, I'm going to review and on foot the new Asics EX89 and compare it to the New Balance 550. You might not like what I've got to say, so stick around to the end and let's go.
Oh.
Okay, so here it is in the Boston Celtics colorway, which personally was my favorite out of the pack, because you've got those hits of green and just really that aged midsole. Okay, so let's start with the box as always. You know, it comes in the standard Asics box that they're doing at the moment, which is a shame, I think, because with this shoe, it's obviously a retro vibe. They could have done something a bit more retro with the box, like maybe bring back like an older box. And the official name for the shoe is the EX89 White French Blue. And I guess French Blue is another name for green. These are unofficially the Boston Celtics, as you can tell from the colorway. They came in a pack with two other pairs, one based on the Lakers and one based on the Knicks. Prior to this pack, Kith actually launched the shoe with a sort of Kith stripe pack, which consisted of like an orange version, off-white, and another sort of Knicks take on it as part of their autumn-winter 2022 collection. It's a blend of an old basketball model that they released called the Gel-Extreme back in 1989, but it's been sort of fused with modern day cushioning and technology. And it was actually originally designed by Toshikazu Kayano, who obviously we all know from the Kayano model, and it was his first, well, the Gel-Extreme was his first design job with Asics. And so yeah, the updated tech that they've used is something called FF Blast in the soles, and it has something to do with this mad kind of indent in the heel. And actually a really interesting point is that the outer sole, the design on the actual grip, is based on a bird's eye view of New York, because Kayano, the designer, was inspired by his first sort of business trips to New York, and obviously looking down, and you can see it does really look like a sort of Google map, which is a nice touch, to be fair. Oh yeah, and if this is your sort of content and you're into more than just the hype, then please subscribe. Okay, so for the actual details on the shoe, overall it feels, pretty decent, good quality materials. I mean, these only cost £115, whatever that is in yours. So, it's not too dear, so you're not expecting premium materials, but they do feel good. As you can see, I've swapped out the laces as always. They come with sort of a standard set of white laces to match the leather, but I've gone with these cream laces to match the midsole, which I think just gives it a bit more of an aged feel. And as I sort of beat these up and batter them in, it's all gonna hopefully fuse nicely. And obviously the main feature of this pair is that sort of Celtics green. And I love the sort of amount that they've got on here. It's obviously like a really bright standout colour, but it's not overdone. It sort of gives the shoe character, but it's not overstated. So I love the midsole, but I'm just not sure about this indent in the back. I just don't think it's needed. It kind of throws me off a little bit. I love the overall shape and general aesthetic. It's proper retro vibes. That's kind of my thing. So when it comes to comfort, I'll say they're pretty good. They're not like gel-lyte 3 levels, but they're pretty comfortable. They feel good. They're quite a little bit bulky, which again is part of the aesthetic. It's what you're probably going for if you buy these. I definitely recommend, if you are going to wear them, to sort of wear a bit more like looser, oversized pants or trousers. Definitely no skinny jeans with these. I think, you're just going to end up looking like a sort of duck waddling about. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. These are clearly in some way, shape or form inspired by at least the New Balance 550. I mean, just look at the shape. It's practically identical. Yeah, not only do they look very similar, but the backstory is almost exactly the same as well. So just quickly with the 550s, so this pair is actually the original 550 that came out. Designed and collaborated with Aimé Ondor, who is basically Teddy Santis. So he said he found an old sort of advert from New Balance for the New Balance 550s from the 80s. And like he just fell in love with the shoe. New Balance didn't have any of the like old molds or whatever they need. So they made the shoe based on that advert and obviously collabed with ALD and brought out the 550s, which obviously we know and has gone, it's extremely successful. Everyone's bloody wearing them. A lot of like hipsters, Soho kids, anyone that orders a vanilla latte, check their feet, they'll be wearing 550s. And then so supposedly with Asics, Ronnie Feig and Asics wanted to do something to celebrate their 15th year anniversary of like collaborating together. And Ronnie Feig says he was looking through the Asics archive came across the Gel Extremes, the original, brought them back. I think the Gel Extremes more of a high top or a mid top, so they made it into a low top, and then released these obviously as a Kith collaboration initially. So I mean, the stories almost line up word for word. My feeling is that Asics were probably sat having a board meeting, looking at New Balance and thinking, how can we replicate the massive success they've had with the 550? And then we end up with this, which is basically them going, let's just copy them. Like, let's copy the shoe, let's do the exact same shoe. Let's even come up with the same backstory. Let's get Ronnie to help out. You know, I love Asics. I don't know, it's just a hunch, but you know, I do feel like, you know, it's just undeniable. Let me know what you think in the comments. How do you think these came to be? Because I certainly think they're just literally ripping off New Balance, and they're probably going to release a lot of these coming forward. So when it comes to the similarities, it's glaringly obvious. Like, the silhouette and the shape is basically identical. You know, the only difference really is obviously the branding, of course, but then maybe like the way the panels are overlaid. The only real difference I can say is that I do prefer the comfort and feel of the 550s on feet. Like, they're nicely padded and you feel really secure, but I've also got enough room for my toes in the front, whereas these kind of just feel all right, fine. But I don't know if it's because these are the Aim Leon door pair. Maybe there's a bit more that's gone into them. Certainly the material's a better quality, but I think with the fit and on-foot comfort, I'm gonna have to say the 550s take it. But that's not it. The thing is, like I say, everyone and their mum has a pair of 550s, great. Whereas no one really has these, not sort of to the wider audience, and really knows about them. And I think you get the exact same vibe, the same aesthetic, you can wear the same get-up. So these to me are a bit more interesting, a bit more sort of fun to wear right now. So if I had to pick a shoe to wear like today, now, it would be these. But moving forward, I think they're going to make a fuckload of these. So, you know, that might change. They might become really diluted and the same as the 550s now. But, you know, my overall verdict is right now, I prefer the EX89s. Okay, that's it. Let me know what you think. Do you like the EX89? Do you prefer the 550s? Which one's better? Is there a pair that you're going to go for? Merry Christmas, big up yourself, and I'll see you soon. Brah!